I recently posted videos just talking about switching back from streaming platforms to going physical media, Blu-rays, DVDs. I just think it's more sustainable in the long run. In the short term, it might seem counterproductive because you might think the streaming service only costs this much money. So what's the point of spending this amount each month, for instance, if it's more? But over the long term, it actually is sustainable. So effectively, you have this vast library and you always know they're available. Because the platforms keep removing things anyway. They're going to start placing more and more ads on content. I wouldn't be surprised they start locking down accounts to the point where you can have one member and all this. I wouldn't even be surprised. Not saying that will happen, but that could happen. So all our everything gets locked behind paywalls all the time. So the best time to get the physical media is now, while it's cheap, because effectively, if everybody starts jumping on it, of course the prices inflate. Right now, it's cheap as peanuts. I kid you not. This is incredible. So anyway, I already have a huge collection, but what the streaming platforms have done, to me personally, it's made me feel that collection's worthless, which is why I think a lot of people just started trading all their movies in and things, even for pennies. And effectively, what's happened is, and I've done the same. Films that I absolutely cherish and love, I've already own, of course, but then I've also gone and purchased them on multiple platforms. Depending on which one's my favourite, I'm like, yeah, I want a copy of that. I want a copy of that on digital. So effectively, you're starting to build a library for no reason. And then you're looking at the price, and let's say a movie goes on sale now. Now it's £4.99, £3.99, £5.99, depending on the quality of the movie or how new it is. You're like, oh, that's a bargain. Yeah, I'm getting that while it's on sale. They're making us believe that those inflated prices are cheap. Now, that's not incredibly expensive, but when we consider what we're paying for Blu-rays at the moment, especially when you're getting them used, you're saving a fortune. I just put in my video, I spoke about the fact that I've just spent £20 on 14 movies, all Disney, within Marvel and Disney. And that's crazy because that's averaging like £1.20 a movie, sort of around about that sort of number. And yet we're thinking £5.99 is cheap. Well, what about £1.20? So anyway, I just want to put a warning really to people because I've just done the same. I've done it to myself. We think we know what films we own, physical. I have an idea. I have a lot, and it's going to be really hard to sort of like just keep browsing because I've got certain ones on show. I've got others in bags. So I need to get a new bookcase so I can start putting them out a bit more. And I love that. It's like going to your own rental store, but it's in your own home. And like I say, when I was a while ago, I used to really enjoy doing that. Then the streaming services come and you lost that engagement with the content. So I'm looking at all the movies I've got and I'm forgetting how many I own, and I'm like, I've even got most of collections. Of course, now maybe one or two films have come out. For instance, I've got both Jurassic Worlds on Blu-ray. I've got Jurassic Parks on DVD, but I prefer the World ones. But I haven't got Dominion, but I have it on digital. So I'm like, okay, that's one we're going to have to collect later. But anyway, so out of the 14 films I ordered Avengers Endgame. And it wasn't dear. It was £2.99, or I think it was on the 4 for 8. So it's worked out £2 a movie. But the real problem is I've just gone through my collection because I ordered it in my bedroom. I was just in the room, I thought I don't need to go through my collection. I know roughly what I got. I only went and found that I already have it. So I was like, oh, great. But look how fun it is. I love it. You get the cover. You've got everything. It's tangible. You pull it out. You can have a little look. What do I fancy watching? And then it's more of I don't know. I just feel it's more engaging. If I pick it out, I'm going to watch it to the end, Whereas streaming, sometimes you like deviate. Oh, can't bother. It's like a choice. Yeah. Anyway, I love going digital. I love going physical, and I forget how much I really enjoyed it. And it's not expensive right now. And even the physical movies, for instance, when they release, they're at the same price as the streaming platforms anyway. So it's not like it's at the end of the world to buy them brand new when they first release at full price, depending on the movie and how excited you are for it. So. For instance, I've got this one. I'm going to just show some that I've just found in my collection. I already knew I had, but some I'm a bit surprised by. Because they're good little collections here. This one I bought from CEX a good few years ago now, and I forgot I had it because I've got the DVD collection, but I've also got it on Blu-ray. And that's Pirates of the Caribbean, all three of them on Blu-ray. It's a reprinted cover. That's just what they gave me, but it was like so cheap at the time. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it's ridiculous that you got all of them. Well, all three. They obviously made another one after. I don't know if there's 4 or 5 of these films now. But I know the fourth one, I think it was, I didn't like. But I have actually got it. Sazar or something? I've got that on DVD, but I'll never watch it, I don't think. I consider the 3 are the main 3 to me. Then I've also I like Twilight, so I don't mind. Some people don't. I might have to get part 2. Is there a part 2 to Breaking Dawn? I'm not sure. I may have it somewhere else. But anyway, I've got this trilogy collection here, which has Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse. But I've also got this that one, but it says part. I think it says part 1. Yeah, I may need to get the next one in that because I think realistically we knew it was all on Netflix. It's all on them, so probably just stop collecting it. This is one of my favorite. I love. Now, most people are Harry Potter fans. I love Harry Potter too, but I actually really, really love Fantastic Beasts. I think it's so underrated, and I've got them, but that one's in DVD, so I'm gonna have to probably get that in Blu-ray. Now, that raises a question, which is kind of why I wanted to talk about it. But you know what I mean? I think it's really cool, but we're led to believe that having a digital copy is better. And I've thought of these as a bit of a waste of money. But it's like, no, they're not. So now I'm really happy I've got them. Almost brand new. They're really great condition. But yeah, it raises the question: is it worth replacing DVDs with Blu-rays because that becomes expensive as well, or do you just build your new collection with Blu-rays? I think personally, it's going to come down to preference. If it's something I'm going to watch regularly and I want the best quality, then yeah. So for instance, I own Twister on DVD. It looks absolutely fine. I was surprised how good it is because I think what happens is I think the Blu-ray player upscales it to your 4K telly. In all honesty, I think that's what it does. So it looks fine. The DVDs don't look too bad. They look better than I think they would. But I am tempted to get Twister on Blu-ray, just because it is one of my favourite films from the past. So that's them ones. Like I said, I still need to get Jurassic World Dominion, but I've got these two on Blu-ray, the first two. I was going through my collection. I own a lot of good films, like what I consider great. I've got Lord of the Rings, got the Hobbit series. I've even got the. This is what I'm talking about. Like you don't need to rely on TV. I own the whole Game of Thrones collection on Blu-ray. I've got X-Files on DVD. The whole collection of X-Files on DVD. I've got The West Wing on DVD. I've got Big Bang Theory, Seinfeld. Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond. The whole collection of that. King of Queens. These are TV shows I like, but the reality is I don't need to rely on services because even if I want to watch a TV show, I've got them there, you know. And there's other ones around that. There's plenty. Like I say, the movie series, I've got so many. I've got like Planet of the Apes. I've got Fast and Furious all the way up to number 8. So of course I'm only missing the second 2. Some of them are DVDs. I think 1 to 5 is definitely Blu-ray. The others may be DVDs. Yeah. Maybe it's something upgrade later. Maybe it's not. Forrest Gump, The Insider. These are all like older films, but they're quality older films, you know. And when I go back, I'm like, these are great. And sometimes they're actually hard to find. Because I've got The Abyss as well on DVD. You try finding The Abyss on streaming platform. I don't know about America, but in the UK, you cannot get The Abyss on streaming platforms. You can't buy it. You can't watch it. You can only get a DVD. So that shows as well that there's certain films. There's a film I used to love, Trial and Error. It's got Jeff Daniels where he's in the courtroom. I found that hilarious. I can't find that anywhere either. You can, again, DVD. Yeah, so I'm actually really enjoying rebuilding my collection and making that sustainable and viable because effectively what it is, that collection just becomes so huge that when you want to watch something, movie night, whatever, you're not naturally going, oh, let's go and turn Netflix on. Let's go and do all this shit. It's like, you know what? Let's just go and pick a film. And then you can watch trailers. Of course, you can always sign up to the odd platform, you know, but you don't have to have all of them at once for starters. And like I said, if the price goes up, all of a sudden, you know, I don't need to pay these stupid prices because they've got everybody by the hook at the moment. That's literally what's happening. And like I said, the terms and conditions can change. Everything can change. Even the ones you own, they could start deleting because of license agreements. They could put adverts in front of them. They could start locking accounts. It's like, you ain't locking me out of my films, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm going. But I think the main thing really is make sure you don't own anything that you're about to purchase, because now I'm going to try and reach out to see if they can swap that film for something else because it makes no sense to receive it. But it's probably too late. They're probably processing it, and I'll just be stuck with duplicates. I've got that, weirdly enough. I think I've got that a couple of times, a couple of films that I've got twice, and I think I did that in the past with CEX. I think I've gone into the shop not knowing I own it, come home and go, "Ah, you idiot!" I think it was Hunger Games. Yeah, I think I owned one already, one of them, and I went and got most of them, and then I was like, "Oh, you idiot!" Yeah, I do things. But I say, I think if you truly like something, it's worth getting them because like CEX is so cheap right now. This is what I'm saying though, because the prices will go up. Eventually, if people get interested in it again, prices will go up and the deals will change. For instance, like Deadpool right now is £2 for £3 or £4 for a £5. It's literally £1.20 in the deal. and it's like that won't stay £1.20 if everybody keeps buying. Do you know what I mean? So it's worth grabbing that. Then it's getting harder, I'm noticing, to buy actual Blu-ray players. I was looking at a 4K player, but I thought, to be honest, that's 150 quid. I don't really want to be spending that. And the films, as much as we'd all love 4K, the films aren't worth it to me. You're looking at £25 a film. And I'm like, oh, no, where'd you draw a line? 10 films is 250 quid. That's a premium experience, but it's unnecessary, in my opinion. Blu-ray's value for money. And the good thing is, you've got choices. You either buy, if you haven't got the player anymore, you can actually just use any games console pretty much up from a certain period. And you'll be able to play. You'll be able to just watch them from that anyway, and it gives you multiple devices. I'm leaning more towards a standalone player though, just because it keeps me focused. Otherwise, you get distracted. You know, instead of watching a film, you play a game. It's you just wanted to watch a film. But yeah, I've got my Blu-ray player in the living room. Of course, plays DVDs, but it'd be nice to have it in the bedroom as well for the bedroom TV. Again, I just want to transition away from streaming services. I don't mind having them, but I don't want to be bound by them. That's where the problem's coming. At the moment, it's fine, but I can see a time period where it's not going to be fine anymore. Do you know what I mean? So like if Disney's price at the moment, I don't mind. I think it's $10.99 in the UK for 4K. That's great. I think that's very reasonable. The amount of content you get is incredible. But what if one day it's sitting at £20, £25 a month, £30 a month? You know, it seems stupid now, but that could literally be the way it goes because of inflation. And the more content they put on there, they think it's worth it, especially the fact that it's exclusive content. And you just don't know where it's going. And then do they start making it one user only? Again, this is foreseeing things in the future. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it does. But I prefer to plan ahead and not be reliant on it. And even if it's not that expensive in the future or anything, it's still I don't need it now. And you're not reliant on the internet, of course. If you have an internet problem, you haven't got to worry. You've always got your collection there. And it's to each their own. It is beautiful streaming through, of course, but at the same time, I do like to just go up to the collection and just like go and pick up a disc. It doesn't take long, and it's more of a commitment to watch it. I've literally picked it out of the collection. I've had a phone, and I'm going like, let's go with this. I like it, and you actually own it. So there's no ongoing costs. For instance, if I say, right, I've spent enough on films now, I don't want to buy anymore. I've got loads to watch. You could just go a huge period without spending any money because you already own it. You're not bound by these subscription fees and shit. It kind of swings and roundabouts, but yeah, I'm someone that also. And this is just me personally. I don't like keep jumping between apps. I get really irritated. So I can't find. Sometimes I don't even know what to watch. So I'll just end up watching something over and over again because it's too much for my mind. You go Prime, then I go on Netflix, then I'm on Disney, then I'm hyper scrolling, and I'm like, this is all driving me nuts. But realistically, if you've got the mixture of the content already in your household, in your bookshelf, that you've got shelves with all this, and it's all like organized. This is your action movies, this is your comedies, this is your horrors, this is your documentaries or whatever, or this is your TV series. It's like, oh, okay, now I can actually see my films. Yeah, this is what I want to watch, and you can always rotate them around. Let's say you can't have them on show all the time, you just start moving them around. What are your favorite ones? Anyway, yeah, for me, it's clearer for my mind. I can just go to an area and look without having to keep skipping. Do you know what I mean? Because the way I see streaming services a little bit is almost like if you compare it within your home, it's like you've got all your movies and TV shows in like a bookshelf or something on some racking in your living room. So it's right by your TV. This is convenient. Maybe that's your Netflix because Netflix has everything really, doesn't it? But now you've got another bookshelf that's upstairs in your bedroom. So you're like looking there. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to go and run around, but you're going to have different stuff. It's not all your movies are in your bedroom. It's like everything's complicated because that's Prime. And now you've got another room that's also got some. That's your Disney, And it's like, who wants to run around your house looking for stuff to watch? That's what the apps are like for me. It's too much. I don't like jumping between them all. It does my head in. So if I've got a collection that I can actually physically see in my peripheral vision, this is far more easy for me. But yeah, anyway, I know it's quite a long video yet again. It's me just trying to really just open people's eyes to things. It's not obviously doesn't make no difference to my day whether people do anything that I do or not. It's just maybe just think ahead a little bit. It's always like forward planning. For instance, we've got TV license in the UK. It costs a ridiculous amount of money now. I think it's like £13-14 a month, £170 a year. It's crazy just to watch live content. You look at the live content, it's shit. And it's like, oh my God, all you're looking for on the live content for most part is sports, which I'm getting bored of. And then, like, what movies are on? I don't want to miss the movie. Own the bloody movie. You know, £14 a month, you can buy a film. £14 a month, I just bought freaking, for 20 quid, I just bought 14 films. So for 14 quid, you could literally buy 8 Blu-rays from Music Magpie. So your TV license can pay for 8 movies on Music Magpie each month. So instead of a TV license, every month, 8 movies. Next month, 8 movies. Next month, 8 movies. By the end of the year, you've got 80, 88, 96. You've got 96 movies within that period for TV license. That's the equivalent. 96 Blu-rays in a year or a TV license. Just the TV license alone. That is mental. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. And then, of course, like I said, the platforms. But of course, it's going to be dependent on what you watch. But even then, I mean, look, if you look here, because I could just show it now, because I was curious. It came up on my page, and I was like, okay. I like Vikings. I haven't got it on DVD or Blu-ray or anything. But it come up on my profile on the thing here. Look, it's here, $2.99 for the second season, 4 for 8. Third season is on the 4 for 8. They're not all going to be on that. I wouldn't have thought. But you just start collecting the ones you can get. They're not always going to be available because obviously someone had to trade them in. Second season there. Third and second season there. But effectively, look, that's £3 for the first season. You're £3. I've done this before where I've just bought a shitload at once and it's gone crazy. So the way I'm looking at that, I don't know how many seasons there are to Vikings, but just looking at the prices in general, 4 for 8, you're getting 2 of them for 2 for 5. 5, and then we've got, 8 there, about £8.50. That's the second one anyway. All right, that's 5 there. Oh yeah, I'll complete seasons 1 and 2, but that's that one and that one anyway, and that's 2 for a £5. I'll have them separate. Oh, anyway, even if you did the first 3 seasons, it's only like £8. Well, I know that's a subscription to one of the platforms, but again, you don't know if the price is going to rise in future, and this is making it sustainable for the long term. So if you was to start accruing them, all of a sudden now you've got all the Vikings. You know, and it's literally just what shows would you watch again? And effectively in the future, then you only have to have the subscriptions you want. So then maybe you just pick one. I know it's tempting to have all of them, but like, how much do you watch on it? I think that's the other thing. Is taking out recognition of it. Is like, how much do you watch on each platform? Because to be honest, I go on Disney and I'm like really impressed with it. I'm like, this is great because the amount of content. And then you go on Netflix, you go, oh, I'm really impressed with this. Then you go on Amazon, you're like, I'm really impressed with this. But I've only got so many hours in a day. I can't watch all of it. It's insane. Personally, I like Prime because of all the features it gives you. If you're talking about video content, I prefer the others. If you're talking about overall value for money, Prime's incredible. You get deliveries, free delivery. You get your movies, TV shows. You get free music every month. You get free books to rent, like borrow for free. Again, that's free. You get video games through their Prime Gaming, which a lot of people don't know about. They're really good games. You've got cloud storage for your photos and videos. So even if you did that, it's about 6 features at least. There's more than that. That's me remembering. For about, let's say it's £10 a month for 6 features. It's like less than £2 per feature. You know, it's just mad a month. So I think Prime overall value for money is quite incredible. But if you're talking about video content, I do actually like the content that would be on Netflix. But then when I get on Disney, I'm impressed. But then I'm like, I might as well just look at my collection. The only thing lacking in my collection, if we're going to say what you need, is probably, and I think that's probably what makes streaming good, is TV series. Movie-wise, yeah, you're better off having your collection, but there's TV series. So like maybe pick the one. I think personally, build your physical collection up with the movies. If there's a TV series you watch repeatedly, and that may be the reason you get hooked on a platform, it might be worth getting a box set. For instance, where I've got the box set for Big Bang Theory. I think I've only got 1 to 8. I think there's 10 series, so maybe there's 2 seasons missing off the end. But I wouldn't argue they're the best seasons anyway. I've got all Seinfeld, love Seinfeld. But that's the thing. If it's a show I really like, I'm just going to grab the box set of it. Because then it doesn't mean I'm then forced to stick around, you know. I know it's probably similar to my previous video, but it's just where I'm at the moment. My head's just going all over the place trying to figure out how to get rid of these bloody services, in all honesty, because it saves you a fortune. You save the £14 a month eventually. Because look, while you're buying them, it doesn't feel like you're saving, does it? But once you've got them, you haven't got to keep spending. That's the point. So one day, let's say now, even if I weren't interested in the other content, this month I can cut all the services off, and I've still got all the films I've got. I've still got all the Jurassic Worlds, anything you can think of. I've probably already got. So I don't actually need the services. I've got plenty to watch. It's not like I'm going to sit there bored and I've got nothing to do. I've got loads to watch. And obviously, the longer the periods go on, the more I've got that backup. So then I'm not reliant on these services. So then I'm saving the £14 a month from TV license. You haven't got all like the Sky, the cable Sky, whatever you want to call it. You haven't got that package on top. You're not paying the Netflix, which at the moment I think is £10.99. It could, depending on the package, it could be £5 for the one with the ads, low res. You can do which is 1080p, which is HD anyway. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what Blu-ray is anyway. £10 a month, I think, without the ads, and then it's like £20 a month nearly for freaking 4K. Again, 4K is the luxury. Yes, I like it, but at the same time, my Blu-rays are not 4K. So, but even anyway, it's all these costs just start to come away. All of a sudden, you're saving yourself £50, £50 a month, across platforms. But that price is only going to keep going up. They're all competing with each other. Netflix are greedy as shit, so Netflix put their price up. But then what all the others do? They all look around going, well, look how much Netflix is making. We should be on. If they're getting that, we should get that. Effectively, they all want to outperform each other. So you drop them and put all your money into them. And when one starts making profit, like incredible profits, they all want to make incredible profits. So they all get greedy. And that's effectively what they're doing to the consumers. They buy you in with the cheap prices at the beginning, and then it inflates and inflates and inflates until the point where it's unsustainable. Then they start complaining that people are leaving the services. But the reality is, if you can see that beforehand, you might as well just start pre-planning now. So if that's going to be likely to happen in the future, prepare yourself now. And then you're not in a situation where you're sort of struggling to adapt. Because like I said, the prices of these things will go up. I've got no doubt about it. The prices will inflate. Yeah, it's bound to happen. Like, for instance, I was collecting a lot of CDs earlier in the year or last year. I was getting a load of CDs. My collection is just like heaving now. Again, that makes me less reliant on the streaming. Now I use streaming just like everybody else. But I don't. It's like if you don't pay it that month, it's not the end of the world. I can just start putting some CDs on. But again, it's giving yourself that freedom, really, not to be bound by other people's rules. I think that's the thing. I'm a bit of a rule breaker. I don't really like it. So I think personally, the movie and media companies, I think, are trying to push us away from physical media now, because especially video games and things. And it's really just latching on while you can and just sustaining it as long as you can before they eradicate it entirely. But that'll piss them off in the future, won't it? Because they want to keep milking the franchises for the rest of your life. So you keep paying the subscriptions. But if you own the physical media, they can't get any more money out of you. And obviously they can't take the film away. So that's the way I see it. I think maybe one day they will try to stop it, but hopefully sort of people power will prevent that from happening. But yeah, I'm sad really, because I think where streaming it was seen as a messiah, something beautiful. But like, if you only have to look at the news and projections, and they're saying that effectively people moved away from cable services like satellite broadcast packages because it was expensive monthly memberships, and they saw streaming packages as more affordable, and of course it was more streamlined. Content was easy to access. But the trouble is the prices are inflating so much now that they're becoming really comparable to the cable satellite content, which you would argue has more variety because you've got sports and things included. Now Amazon trying to integrate that a little bit, but yeah, I just think it's all going full circle here where the content's getting out of control. The one thing I've got an issue with Netflix personally is they add mobile games to their service. So if you watch it on a mobile device, you can play games. But then it's like, surely those games are what is inflating the prices. And most people don't care about that. So everybody's paying for something that they're not even most people don't care about. And I think that's where Netflix are like losing it. I think they're trying to compete with Amazon, where Amazon give games away. Or what Apple are doing with their thing, where they do the Apple One, because they've got Apple Arcade, where you can play games within a membership fee. I think that's what Netflix are trying to do. But again, everybody's paying towards that, even if they're not using the service. I don't want to keep going on. But yeah, just be careful what you buy, because now it looks like I've got freaking another copy of that coming, which is a bit dense. Is what it is.